Okay, let's have one or two games on the ACC auto pairing today. Got a game. Okay, let's stop the other one. Okay, let's play French defense. Lower the volume a bit. I think bishop e7, waiting move. Relatively lower rated opponent than myself at the moment. I'll play this g5. I think a6 and then g5 might be better to avoid dc lines and bishop b5s. So undermining e5 and d4 without allowing dc and knight d4s. So without this diagonal being under fire so much with that inclusion of a6. So like now, okay, maybe bishop takes. It's possible that knight b3 hits bishop. I mean, could go back. I could play knight c5 though. Maybe it's time for b5, bishop b7. So I'll keep that g4 in hand. So say knight d4, bishop b7. Can I continue with queen c7, rook c8? Do I want to castle queenside? Do I want to play for g4, g3, the diagonal? Interesting. So, what does white want to do here? He can get a knight to d4, knight b3 to d4. Let's be careful about things like g4 then. So this bishop on the diagonal is going to be blocked if there's a knight on d4, blocked by that pawn. If a4, that might be a try. Maybe b4. Then maybe c4. And if d4, then maybe knight b3. Okay, this one. Okay. So keeping an eye on this bishop at least, locking in this bishop. What do I want to do here? You could just take and then knight f3 to d4 again. Maybe I want to do queen c7. Put a bit of pressure on this guy, or queen b6 as bishop e3. So maybe queen c7. Oh, then I lose g5, takes, and then bishop g5. Knight e4, I don't know if the queens come off after takes. Bishop's extended in scope, there's always knight d4. Maybe this is the time for g4. Yeah, I'll play g4. Aggressive. So, pawn sack. And maybe I can just play queen c7 and try and castle queenside. But mind you, there's always knight c5, bishop c5, bishop g5. But then maybe in that position, king d7, and then rook g8 after. King d7 might be afforded by the French defense setup. So queen c7 here. So he could take and play bishop g5, but then king d7, I think. Okay, he hasn't. Okay. So over here, going to use the g5. Maybe d4 would have been good to get in before the knight d4 blockade, which he hasn't done. Okay, so I've got rook g8s and d4s targeting the old g2 pawn, potentially. So the g pawn sack, I think, looks promising here. As d4 is always bishop e4. I mean, rook g8, queen b7, then d4. Where's the queen going otherwise? b6, b7. So b7 has d4, b6 has a nice pin. There's also check now, king e2. b4 and bishop b5. What about b4 here? Yes, b4 to play bishop b5. That could be scary for white. So bishop b5, keeping the king in. I could fling that in first. Keeping the king is resigned here. Blimey. King g1? King g1, what would I be doing? Maybe bishop f2 and queen c2. Maybe that's why, I don't know. Not totally sure. Okay, it was a bit difficult to get a game on the auto pairing at this time, but alright. So another French defence, but with a6. So I think one of the key points, I think a6, if you want to play g5, a6 is often a useful prelude, I think, to avoid bishop b5s after, dc and knight d4s. G pawn sack puts white under pressure. This b4 just opens up this diagonal. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks so much.